right behind me, I've got the 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks with the Sasquatch Package. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Mayfield Ford for allowing me to review this Outer Banks with the Sasquatch Package. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ford Broncos, the safety features that do come with the Outer Banks model, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing on this. Now, as for the models, depending on which one you do get, you can either get a 2-door or a 4-door, and then these are all of the models available. Here is a list of the safety features you do get with the Outer Banks model. And also, since this does have the Lux Package equipment group, you also get these extra safety features. And as for what powers the Outer Banks here, this does have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6 engine, which makes 330 horsepower and 415 pound-foot of torque on premium fuel, and 315 horsepower and 410 pound-foot of torque on regular fuel. Towing wise, you're looking at about 3,500 pounds, and fuel economy is about 14 liters in the city and about 13.6 liters on the highway. I'm also going to throw up the window sticker for this Outer Banks because it does have some features added onto it, including the Sasquatch Package. Alright, well, let's start off in the front of the Outer Banks here, and as I walk around, you are going to notice all of the Sasquatch Package details. So on here, on your front bumper, you do have the plastic bumper, obviously. You've got the front recovery hooks along with the front safety sensors. You've got kind of like an opening there in the center with a sensor also right in the center, and you do have the LED fog lights. And if you look down there, you also have all of your protection down there, and then you get into the grille area. I love the designing, the openings, everything, the way that it's laid out. Plus, it's in my favorite gloss black. You have these unique white Bronco letters with a front-facing camera there, and then you get into these cool-looking LED front lights. I love how the Broncos look with these lights. It just stands out a lot. And then if you are unfamiliar with the Broncos, you're probably wondering, what are these things on both the sides on the hood? Well, these are called trail sights, and they help with trail navigation and also act as tie-down points and can handle 150 pounds of force and also vehicle corner markers. So if you do get the Sasquatch Package, there's a ton of stuff that you get that is off-road related. For example, you get high clearance suspension, high clearance fender flares, better approach and departure angles, advanced 4x4 with automatic on-demand engagement, 4.7 final drive ratio with electronic locking front and rear axle, positive sensitive Bilstein shock absorbers, and also if you do plan on going through water, well, you do have 33.5 inches of water fording. Alright, coming to the side of the Bronco, you've got the usual Bronco looks. Now, another thing that this one has added on is the roof. It's the hardtop molded in color roof here, so if you look closely, it almost has like this granite look, which looks very nice. And then as for the door handles, you do have them in black. The side mirrors do come body color there, and I love how on the Broncos the side mirrors are not attached to the doors because you do have them on this piece that stretches to the other side, and I think this looks very, very unique. Also, you'll notice the side mirror cameras on this, which is for that full 360 view. And then on the fender here, you do have the Outer Banks Sasquatch decaling, and also on this you do have the side steps. And with the Sasquatch Package compared to a normal Bronco, you will notice the fender flares are a little bit bigger or wider, so it makes this thing look even crazier. Now, as for the wheels, you've got these very nice and unique looking wheels. These are your 17-inch wheels, and they're finished in this matte black finish, and they're paired with these 35-inch tires. So if I do take a step back, you can see how crazy this thing looks with the Sasquatch Package. All right, let's come around to the rear of the Outer Banks. As you can see, you've got the massive spare tire there, and in the center, you do have the rear backup camera, the same black plastic rear bumper with a recovery hook, more rear safety sensors, and then on the tailgate, you have the Ford badge over here, and the other side, you do have the horse badge. Now, coming to the lights, you've got the nice rear LED tail lights, and I think these look very unique on the Broncos. And now let's go ahead and open up the tailgate here, and let me show you the space and all of that good stuff back here, because there is a ton of room and you can pack lots of stuff back here, whether you're going off-roading or just on your family adventures. You have tons of space for all of your things. Now back here, you will notice you do have a speaker, a 12-volt outlet, lighting, and then on this side you do have space in the side here, which is nice. And then of course all of your tie downs in the corners. If I go ahead and lift up the carpet area, you also have some space down here which you can definitely utilize. All right, let's check out the interior on the Outer Banks, because it is pretty usual for the Broncos to have this type of a look going on. So down here you do have some netting space, and up here you do have this nice looking trim, and then you have the soft touch here, the soft touch here. And if you look at both the soft touch trimming, you do have the nice designing in them, and this is kind of plain. It's hard to tell. You do have to see it in person, but these are definitely unique. Now, as for the interior seats, you do have these soft touch everywhere. It's all black interior, and yeah, other than that, you just have like the contrast stitching, and these are pretty comfortable. And if I go ahead and pull down the centerpiece here, you do have your cup holders. Now I'm gonna jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom in this. All right, entering inside, legroom wise, I am pretty good, and I'm sure this seat can be adjusted forward, so I'll have even more legroom. Now, in terms of the headroom, this is a Bronco, so you can see how much room I have. I'm wearing a hat for reference. I'm 5'11", and I'm super comfortable back here. Also, I love behind the driver and the passenger seat, of course, there's no plastic or anything. It's just all soft touch material. Plus, you do have these storage compartments. Now, over on the rear console area, you just have your window controls, venting, and then if you look way down there, you have USB ports and a 110-volt outlet. All right, let's check out the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear on this Outer Banks. And the only thing I can really notice is a bigger netting area, plus you do have the exposed screws, and everything else is identical. Now, moving to the front seats, these are exactly like the rear seats, but these do come heated, which is nice. And also, this portion here is definitely better designed than the rear, obviously because you're a driver or a passenger up here, so you got to be extra comfortable. And you also have the horse stamped into the back there. And then coming to the side here, you do have the power seat adjustments. Underneath, just your pedals. Here is your hood latch release. Here is the electronic parking brake, and then here are all your controls for the lighting on the exterior, plus the fog lights and the cluster dimmers. And then if you move to the venting area, you do have a grab handle that says Bronco, and this very nice looking, almost like silver grayish trim that stretches the whole dashboard. And as for the steering wheel, this does come manual adjustable. All right, entering inside, I just want to show you something cool on the cluster, because when I go ahead and start up the Bronco here, you do have the nice Bronco animations, and even when I go ahead and turn off the Bronco, you still have the nice Bronco animations. All right, entering inside, your dashboard is pretty unique because you do have this nice trimming here with the contrast stitching. You got a speaker here in the corner, in the center, and the other side. And by the way, if you haven't noticed with that badge, this does have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is good. And then you also have space up here on both the sides that you can definitely utilize, plus USB ports, so if you do want to charge your phone. And then you get into this very nice, very sharp looking, fully digital cluster area. And this is a 12-inch cluster. And on here, you can view a ton of different things, and all of that is controlled through here. So if I just press back for a second on here, as you can see, I can flick through all of these different things. And if I press the other one, the main menu one, I have more things. And keep in mind, whatever you go into may have more menus within it. Now, as for the steering wheel, you do have the soft touch material. This does come heated, which is nice. And you have more of this nice granite trimming that goes all the way around, plus your chrome horse badge. And on the left here, you have all your cruise control settings, follow distance, lane keep, and your volume controls. And then on the other side, you do have your cluster controls, seat controls, your Bluetooth, and your phone controls. Also behind the steering wheel, you do have your front and rear wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. Now, moving to the center armrest, you have the nice, unique soft touch material with the contrast stitching. And opening this up, you do have a decent amount of storage space in this. Plus, you do have an outlet and 2 USB ports. All right, let's touch on the center console here. Now, here is where you will find your window controls and then your side mirror controls. Plus, you have all your different goat modes. And then right here in the center, you do have the trail control, which is your one pedal driving. You got cup holders, handy dandy shifter up here. You've got this nice little Ford plaque, a grab handle, some space here for your phone, and USB ports. Also new for 2026 is you do have grab handles up here, so on both the sides. And then moving to this section here, you have all your heating and cooling temperature controls, including the heated steering wheel, heated seat, and then all your multimedia controls, plus the camera button here, the auto start stop, and then the parking sensor to turn them on or off. And then if I click into the camera button, this is what pops up here. So you have a nice front-facing camera, a top bird's eye view. And then if I click this here, you also have, you can see like a full front view and a full front view, but this is a wider panoramic view, which is nice. And then is your nice looking touchscreen. This is a 12-inch touchscreen, and you have a main section and a mini screen off to the right. So on here, which is your audio section, you will have your AM, FM, Sirius XM, and Bluetooth. Next is the phone section once you do have it paired. Next will be the navigation section. That's what that looks like. Next is the app section. So here you're going to find things like your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This even has karaoke and YouTube. Next is the settings section. So here, this is pretty usual on any vehicle. You can fine tune all of these things to your liking. And lastly is the features section. So you have your driver assistance, which is all of your safety features. You can turn them on, off, adjust it however you want. Heading back, there's also the zone lighting in this. Let's override this and turn this on. Now I can turn on one section at a time or all zones at the same time, which is pretty neat. Heading back, and then you just have your manual and feedback. Now over to the little screen here. If I just press the little pages, I can swipe through all of these different things. And also on the dashboard, you do have a few more controls. So here is the front locker, the rear locker, and this one right here with the arrow. This is your trail turn assist. You've got your traction control and then your hazards. And then moving further up, if I just push this down, this is where you put your sunglasses. So there it is. And then also your interior lights. And here's the key fob for this Outer Banks. It's your usual Ford key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you what the dashboard looks like because it's very, very unique. As you can see, this super nice looking trimming that also says Bronco within it. And then you just have your usual glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this Outer Banks with the Sasquatch package. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks with the Sasquatch package. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?